happening? We are live. Now let me go live on Instagram. They make you do it different every time. Bugs me.
Keeping you awake.
Go live on the Insta.
I can't stop looking at his screen.
I know.
Oh.
It's like, I'm
Magical.
I'm producing something magical here. All right, here comes the intro. Silence. 3, 2, 1. No, let's try that again. All right. Hold on. Everybody's watching now and they're seeing what goes on behind the scenes here.
Educational.
Well, it's because I messed up when Charlie and I were watching that YouTube video.
Oh, yeah.
Let's try this one more time. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. What's happening, all you beautiful people out there in podcast land? Welcome back to the 99th episode of the Grow Clinton podcast, recorded in the Grow Clinton studios right here at 721 South 2nd Street, Clinton, Iowa, right along the mighty Mississippi. It's a beautiful town. If you haven't been here, come and visit. We got some great stuff going on, and we'll hear about some even more great stuff happening here shortly with our guests. I am Andy Sokolovich, the president and CEO of Grow Clinton. As always, joined in the studio by Jenny Home. Jenny, what's happening?
I can tell you what's happening. It's something awesome.
Something awesome?
Yes. Our guests today are amazing.
They are amazing. They're friends of ours, too.
I know it. And you know how lucky we are? That's
so lucky.
good life.
So lucky. You know what I'm also really excited about?
what?
High-speed fiber internet. That's right, folks. The Grow Clinton podcast is powered by Miles Communications. Check them out, milestelephone.com, for all your high-speed internet needs. Also, they offer telephone service and television service at an affordable rate.
Oh, yeah.
But we use their wickedly fast high-speed internet here at
So
Grow Clinton.
fast.
Milestelephone.com. Jenny,
Yes.
you know them.
I do.
You love them.
I do.
Our guest today
Yes.
from Paint It Back, which we will dig into here, is none other than artist Gabbi Torres and a board member of Paint It Back, Kip Simpson. Thank you for joining us.
Yay.
Thank you for having us. This is very exciting.
We're excited.
Kip,
to have
are you equally as excited?
By any measure, yes.
Yes,
At least,
you are.
At least.
Let's take a moment. Kip, just raise your knee.
Oh, we got Kip has some fancy
Yes.
pants on
Some
today.
fancy pants.
Love
Where
it.
did you purchase those fancy pants?
A big retailer online that used to just sell books.
Oh, okay.
I can
like
see
them.
that. Actually,
I love
that,
them.
that
I
tracks.
love them.
I
That
do.
tracks for me quite a bit.
Well, you know what's also very cool is there is a building in the north end of Clinton in the Lions Business District down along the riverfront that was part of the former McElhaney's Auto Group. I think it was
Toyota.
their, or was it their repair shop or?
I thought it was a Toyota building.
Well,
Well, that's
it's been
McElhaney's,
referred
yeah.
to
Yeah.
as a Toyota
Mhm.
building, but I'm pretty sure I've heard it was a repair shop, and I'm not sure. Have you heard anything? What it was?
I don't know the
We don't
legends.
dwell in the past here at the Grow
Right.
Clinton podcast. We're
Super.
focusing on the future.
Future.
And you took Gabbi and your team from Paint It Back, an old, dilapidated building that really didn't draw any attention other than, was an eyesore,
Yes.
and did something amazing and created some incredible public art. Tell us about the genesis of the Paint It Back movement and how you've really been able to promote public art, but also inspire local artists to share their skill sets.
Wow. Well, firstly, thank you. That's really kind of you to say. Paint It Back is a project that's near and dear to both of our hearts, to everyone who is part of the team of Paint It Back. But basically, so I had the opportunity. Was renting a studio. Actually, this is like comes full circle.
Mhm.
There's a lot.
You have to
Yeah.
say
So-
studio here.
Studio.
There you go.
So I was renting a building from Dolores Home, Jenny's mom, and an opportunity came up, and I wrote her. So I wrote your mom like this a real like heartfelt letter. So when I was looking, I was just like venturing into being like, okay, I'm an artist. I'm growing out of my home space. I need a studio space, and it has to be like, has to have a sink at the very minimum and some natural light. And I can like afford maybe $350 a month. Like I had no money to be doing this, but I wanted to
As
do it.
does every artist,
Yeah.
right? Starving
Right?
artist
Yeah.
is a term for a reason.
So I saw this space. It was 83 Main Avenue. It had a for rent sign in it, and it was listed higher than what I was able to afford. But I wrote your mom a letter, and I was just, listen, like, I'm just this person. I'm an artist, but I promise you, if you rent me this space, it will not just be for like, it's not just about me. This is about Main Avenue, and I promise I will begin to transform this block of Main Avenue in this neighborhood, and I will bring art and life back to this space. And she accepted. And that was in 2020. I wrote her that letter where I was
Right.
like, I promise to make this an arts district. Just
I offered her $351 and she turned me down.
She turned me down.
Did you write a letter?
didn't write
Dolores does not care about profit.
Inferior letter.
No,
So-
that's an amazing story, Gabby.
yeah,
I love
it's
it.
so sweet. And Dolores is I love your mom. And we for a while we were like going for lunch every month.
You
and
got to
just-
call her.
And I do. I
Yep.
have to call her. So in 2020, I rented the building, and then your mom needed to put it for sale. She was kind of done having it. And so I reached out to her and I was like, please sell me this building. I brought like, please, please, please. I will take such good care of it. I'll bring it back to like, I will please, please sell me this building. And of course, because your mom is so sweet, she did. She sold it to me.
She was so happy you were in there. Really. I mean, and that was everything that you said about that is exactly what my mom had hoped for. So she
Oh,
was really
good.
so happy.
Oh,
to have
that
you
makes
there.
me so happy. That was, I mean, she really, so I owe a lot. Like, honestly, Gabbi Torres personally and Paint It Back as an organization, and we owe a lot to Dolores Home because she's the one who, because she was my first yes in a long list of people who just had faith or trusted me and said yes to my crazy ideas. And now here we are, 2025, 5 years later.
5 years.
And now I have an art studio in 83. I've renovated 81, and that's going to be a really nice gallery
Nice.
space. Now we have the Paint It Back building, which I was, so in 2023, I was in front of my building and handing out stuff for the Lions Art and Wine Walk, and I just kept seeing that
I
Toyota
remember
building.
that. You
right?
had a couple muralists at the building, right? Just chilling with you?
No, that was so that would have been last year. So this was 2023. So nothing had happened with the Toyota building up until that point. But I was just looking at it and I loved that building. Like I'd gone in there before and I was always trying to figure out what I could do with it. And then it just so happened, it was like this perfect timing. It's a great story. That's one of the things I love about Paint It Back because it just is like the most beautiful like orchestration of movements and things
Yeah.
just happening at the right time. You meet the right people for the right reason.
The story is
Yeah.
art, if you will.
Yeah,
It is.
it is. It really is. And so I had just met Chris and like I was like, this is my guy. Like I love this dude and I love this town and I love this building and it just clicked. I was like, oh my gosh, because I know Chris and I know his talents and who he knows.
So
and
Chris is a local artist.
yes,
Your partner.
yes,
Inadequate beard. Really. I mean,
He's
His
trying.
beard is mighty.
Well, he's trying.
I know. I
it's a
just,
mighty beard. But yeah, and so it just was this perfect, alignment of all the things. And so it was May. The Art and Wine Walk's always early May. So that month, so the Sawmill has their board meeting at the last Thursday of every month. So like the end of May, I proposed to them this idea and I said, hey, listen, I know that you don't know what you want to do with this building right now, but that's fine. But in the meantime, like, let me have it. Let me do something with it. I'm going to paint it. It's going to be amazing. I'll make it beautiful. And they said yes. And so in 3 months, we put together a massive festival that like, it was just like building the plane, flying it, patching it up at the same time. It was something. And then, but yeah, I think it was really that year, I went out and fundraised and I had, and again, this was one of those times where people were like, they said yes, but they trusted me, but they were like, we don't really know what is she going to do? Like, what's happening? And is she going to pull it off? Because it was like a big thing that I had promised, right? And I remember I was fundraising a year went by, and I went back to one of our big donors, and they were like, Gabby, the first year we didn't know what to expect, but we just love you and we believe in what you're trying to do for Clinton and bring art and make it this like arts destination. And so we want to support that. But you delivered, you went above and beyond our expectations. Like, we will always help you.
And people in town were so on board.
They were.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful
It
thing.
really was.
And so what was really nice, like, that was magical, right? Just seeing how people were like, wait, what? And the experience and how everyone just came together and wanted to be a part of it, or just hang out by the building and just talk to the artists or bring food or whatever. And then I was like, I wonder what's going to happen the second year, right? Because the first year it's new. And so then the second year I'm like, are people going to be like, oh yeah, whatever? And it was not like that at all. It was even more like it had built up. And you have a beautiful, like, your experience of the festival in 2024, I feel like you just said it so well the other day when we were talking.
Kip,
Talk about
how'd it
it.
go?
What did I say?
You're
It was
like,
amazing.
I think you were really taken with the street party that Saturday.
Yeah, I just, I think there's a big combination of things. I'm going to get a little philosophical here.
Hey,
No
would it be
way.
a Brooklyn
Yeah, we
podcast
would
with
not
Kip?
expect it
Yeah.
any other way, my
You
friend.
did not wear those pants to not get
Those
philosophical.
are philosophical
Thank
pants.
you.
That's right.
Professor Kip.
You teed it up.
There's just a lot of things coming together, as you said, not just from a narrative point of view, but it's just a really cool location.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll run with my buddies, Chris and Bart, up on the dike, and to look over at this building that was previously ignored and see something really special and utterly unique, and it's ours. It's our town's thing. Yesterday, it popped up on my little Reddit feed. These giant waves in Nazire, Portugal, and it was part of a documentary called 100-Foot Wave. And it was just this morning, and thinking about this podcast and thinking about this little point, it's like, oh, I have a very short bucket list, but everything on it has to do with scale. I want to see the redwood forest, and I want to see a blue whale. End of list. And there's something about the scale of this building and the artwork that's there that, I get a lot of information from my phone or, my computer screen and I love our local theater, but sometimes I go to IMAX if it's a special sort of feature,
Right.
in the Quad Cities. And so this is kind of an IMAX scale of a beautiful thing. And so there's the thing itself, which is striking, especially when it's super sunny out. To be down there when the sun's out and see just an absolute explosion of color. But behind that, the narrative, meeting these people, one of the most special parts of this for me is meeting these incredible artists who are famous. I mean, they are top shelf muralists. They are a big deal, and they don't act like a big deal. To hear these big deal people be in our town and talk about how much our town is a big deal to them, and talk about the warmth of our neighbors to me, that's kind of, for this guy, this man in pants, that is the core of what makes me love Paint It Back, is this sort of interaction between these people who are really doing the deal and have some God-given talent and drive, and us, the Clinton area, and seeing how that kind of squishes around and vibes off of each other, I guess you could say, to make something even cooler, sort of a perpetual motion machine or something. And it's so you have the art, and then you have the people, and part of the equation on the people side is us.
Yes.
And I don't mean the people around this table, partly, but just the people listening to this, that are part of this community.
I had a moment like that when I drove by, when everybody was heading down to that end. It was just a mass of people walking down in the evening because it was a nice summer night. And there were some kids going down, little kids, and the parents were taking them down to see how this is done. And I thought, how many kids are down there being inspired to do something like this?
That is so, I love hearing that so much, because I think it's just one of the things. I mean, I love everything about Paint It Back, and Kip, what you said truly is, everything is my favorite, really, because it is that community and these artists and the way they see our community and how inspired they are by what we're doing. And then I also love seeing, like, we have so many kids who come by, and these guys will literally stop what they're doing. And Louis, he goes by Hippie. He like gave a kid some spray paint and was like, "Help me! You want to try?"
Wow, that's
And
so cool.
the parents of the kid were like, "Are you sure?"
Oh, I want to do that. And they tell me no. I see how it is.
Suddenly it's a problem.
And I think the guys too that did the big dragon wall, I feel like Chuck did that too with a couple of kids that came by, and so that's a beautiful thing, because that could be a young person getting inspired and feeling like they can try something and achieve something and be that art or whatever creative expression that is. And we've been getting, so the guys wrote a bunch of really nice testimonials for us this year, and without question, they all were like, "This was like the highlight of my year last year, was coming to your town and painting."
Wow.
And they're all really excited to come back again this year, which I think again is just speaks so highly of the project, of the just uniqueness of the location and where it's at, but also the community and how we show up when we bring our out of town friends to come and do a nice thing for us, right?
Yeah, and I think to provide some context, it's important to know that these artists, it isn't like they came here and they're like, "Well, I got to paint." I mean, they go elsewhere, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah, they go all over the country and abroad. So after our festival, I think a couple of them went down to Paint Louis, and then Scribe was just in Arizona, and they were, in Denver. They go literally all over the country. They're constantly traveling for this type of work. This is, for many of them, this is just what they do. They're just full-time artists and creators. And I should say they probably make a lot more money going other places, but I think what we don't, because we're a nonprofit, we do give all of our artists stipends, but I'm sure it's not comparable to what they might get for other gigs. But what they don't get in that, I think what the compensation they get is a real heart and spirit type of compensation, and I feel like they really respond to it.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. So Paint It Back is a 501c3.
We sure are.
So that is a tax-deductible donation to a nonprofit.
It sure is.
Why we can sit here all day and talk about how much we love the Paint It Back Festival. We love the art. The reality is you need cash to make this continue to happen.
We do.
So what does that look like? And for our listeners, if they want to get involved, whether it be a financial donation to support the nonprofit and continue what you've been able to accomplish over the last several years, or they just simply want to have maybe their business on a banner.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Well, that's a very good point. It does cost about between 50 and 60, especially now, I would say it's closer to $60,000 to do this festival each year. And that's a lot of money to raise every year. I mean, we get help. We had grants. CCDA was a great grant we had last year, and we had a Quad City Arts grant. This year, we're hoping we can get some funding through the Iowa Arts Council, but really we just depend on our community to support this and support the arts and what our program has already achieved for our town and for that part of Main Avenue. But yeah, so I think if people are looking to support and want to see this continue, they can go to our website paintitback.org, and there's a donate now button, and that'll take us to the Give Butter page, which is how we accept our donations. You can always just reach out to me too. I'm very accessible, and I can send you a link. There is a link on our Facebook page as well, which is Paint It Back. And we do offer a variety of sponsorship packages. So again, just reach out to the Gabby, and I'll get you set up. But it really does make a difference because, we love this festival, and we do it for the best way we can and make that money go the longest way it can go. But yeah, it does require support, for us to continue. So anything you want to add to that, Kip?
Yeah, I would say as someone who, got pulled onto the bandwagon a little later, that anybody who donates, their money is going to be used in a wise way. There's nothing frivolous or fancy going on. It's really kind of a garage band, grassroots sort of heart and soul, passion fueled effort, and it's something that I think people can feel really good about. That it's like, hey, I gave $25. That $25 may not seem like a lot of money, but it's going to be used in accordance with the mission of the organization, and not just for, well, I have a gilded pen now.
Yeah.
Look at the action on
Yeah.
this, or something silly like that. It's kind of a Clinton sort of mentality when it comes to just how responsible the board and really Gabby and Chris at the heart of it. It's which is great to see, right? If you're going to be part of something, you want it to be, you want people to be responsible and be all about what it's all about.
Yeah. No doubt about that. It's an amazing project. We love it. We support it here at Grow Clinton. We love to be able to come down and take part in the festival, but let's explain to our listeners, Paint It Back, again, a nonprofit organization. You're doing some amazing things, but let's talk about your mission. Let's talk about your focus moving forward and future as Kip shakes up some spray paint here in the studio.
What's happening?
What do we got, Kip?
So I thought it'd be cool to make like the holy scroll of the Paint It Back, and I thought, it'd be appropriate to use a couple of rattle cans
Oh my God.
to so it's sort of cheesy. It's like,
I
there
love
you
this
go.
so
I mean, you
much.
can't see it.
For those that
This makes
don't
for
know,
great radio, doesn't it?
for those that don't know,
that.
Gabby is also seeing this for the first time. So we are very excited about the delivery of what is your mission statement,
Oh
Kip.
my gosh. That is absolutely, I love that. That
So
is
can you
amazing.
convey to our listeners what we have going on here?
okay. So what I'm looking at is a scroll, and it's made out of 2 spray paint cans, and in between those spray paint cans is our mission statement, which is so the mission of Paint It Back is harnessing the power of public art to bring new life to spaces, energize communities, and spur economic development and growth.
Ooh, I love that.
Nice.
you.
Harnessing.
Yeah.
I like
Very cool.
harnessing.
Yeah, and that's really what, I was working on something the other day, because through the work I've been doing over the years, I get asked a lot to speak at different things on art and development. And so I had to like prep something, and this just came to me, I was writing about Paint It Back, and I wrote that, and I was like, oh my gosh, our mission statement,
There
our
it is.
mission. There it is. Here, I can hold.
Yeah, let's
And
make
you're
it
so
visible.
right. I mean, when you're talking about art and development, this is something that all communities have certain things that every community has, where
Yeah.
they try to get people to come to town. But Paint It Back is so unique to Clinton.
Yeah.
It is. It's a Clinton thing. There's really no other that I know of in the state of Iowa, and it could be in a bigger region. I don't know of another organization that does exactly this,
No.
and that focuses on that one building for now. Currently, focusing on that one building, and using art to revitalize it, to bring new energy, but not just to that building, not just to that space, but to the community at large. And then that excitement, since we started Paint It Back, and I don't know if this person bought their building because of what we're doing, but I'm sure it didn't detract them. I was, for a while, it was like myself and Ben Irwin had owned the Rivals building next to me, and then I got it from him as well when he was ready to sell. But so I was like kind of a lone wolf on the that part of the avenue for a while.
Yeah.
You were.
And now there's a new person who just bought a building and is renovating all the apartments, a younger guy, and so it's happening.
Waking up.
It
that's
is
what it
waking up, and
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of what they call economic gardening, and this is a good example of that. You have planted the seed for resurgence in that block of Main Avenue, and you're starting to see people realize that if you can be successful doing it, then they can as well, and they're less apprehensive about going out there and committing to buying a building, redeveloping it, fixing up the second floor residential space, and really creating a corridor And at the end of that corridor, like a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, you have this beautiful building.
Yes.
Not to mention that the Sawmill Museum is down
Yes.
there as well. So there's a lot of really cool things happening. And I'm very proud of what you've been able to accomplish. So you have a board of directors.
Yes, we do.
Kip is on your board.
He sure is.
That's a great addition to your board.
Oh, it's been awesome.
And I would say that even if he wasn't sitting here
yeah,
In those
because of
pants.
his fancy pants.
Yeah.
because of his fancy pants.
So how many people make up your board?
So we have, yes, good. Well, let's find out. So there's Gabby and Chris, we're the directors. And
Correct.
then we have our president is Matt Parps. Dan Serp is our treasurer. Ari Leverins is our secretary. We have Chad Jensen, Brandon Price, and Kip Simpson.
Very cool.
Nice board.
Nice.
Yeah, that
board.
is a great group of folks
Yeah.
focused on making a difference in our community. I love that you have economic development in
Thank
your
you.
mission statement
Yeah.
because art, tourism is a very strong component of a solid economic development strategic plan.
Mm-hmm.
And for so long, it was ignored as something that really didn't matter, right? We were out there just chasing smokestacks, meaning that we were focusing on factories that come to our region and why that's beneficial. And the economic impact, the injection of new wealth is something we're all very excited about. There's also a quality of life aspect to economic development that's often not a focus. And what you have done, excuse me, at Paint It Back in the North End has really shifted that mindset to make sure that it remains a leg on the economic development
Yes.
stool.
Yeah.
And it's the placemaking.
Yeah, that's
You know, that-
hugely part of
And it's
placemaking.
quality of life for the
Yeah.
residents, not only bringing people to town, but the people who live here.
Yeah, some of my favorite feedback has been from people who live in that area and are like, they're just like, I can't believe there's an art gallery outside my window, and I
Nice.
take my brother when he visits me from Tennessee here now, and I just that sense of pride of where
Pride.
they live,
Mhm.
which I didn't talk to them before, so I don't know. But it's nice to hear that they're saying that now,
Mhm.
and I think that's really meaningful. And I don't know, I just the arts just has this capacity of lifting people up, and the more we're able to provide those opportunities and those just experiences as part of our daily life here in Clinton, that really just benefits everyone. Not to mention, then you also attract other people who want to see what's going on. And I mean, it's wild. There was a guy who came. We don't know this person. He's a fan of one of our artists, and he was driving from California on his way home to Michigan during and it was snowing. It was like during a snowstorm, and he did a pit stop in Clinton because he wanted to see the artwork because they know about it. All over the country, people know about Paint It Back. And this year we have there's a company, we're a national company, Loop USA. They're international, based out of Italy, but we work with Loop USA, and they want to partner with us this year. That's huge. That's a national paint company that's like, yeah, we want to work with Paint It Back. And so that's super exciting to me. Loop USA, now headquarters in Los Angeles, knows about Clinton, Iowa, and what we do here. I also was just walking the dogs yesterday. I went to the riverfront, and I parked my car. Like, I drove across the tracks, parked my car. There were two ladies who were out of their car taking pictures at the wall. I got up to the bike path and I turned around. They had gone, and there was another vehicle that was driving around. Like, it was within 5 minutes, and
Right.
it's just so. I think that's pretty special. I
It
think
is-
that's pretty
so,
great.
too. It's interesting too. I don't think it can be overstated how just what you're bringing out, both of you really, when you're talking about the connection between art and economic development and quality of life. I think it would be so easy to flippantly dismiss the power of something like this, and it can kind of sound foofy or just, take it easy, artsy
Right.
person. But thinking about this in business terms, I mean, art is everywhere. I mean, you have a blue shirt on, you have a black shirt. I mean, we buy our clothes. You think about marketing. I mean, art and business and just life are just so inexorably woven together. And you think about the brands that you appreciate. You think about the car you drive. Art is part of that. And what I think is so cool about Paint It Back and other things that Gabby has done is that, or even the space that, you told Jenny's mom, I will take care of this building. And we've met a couple of times for board meetings in that space. And it's like, this feels like a gallery.
Mhm.
Like, in my town, there's a gallery here. And it's like, this is fancy in an art sort of a way. I'm getting those sorts of feelings, but it's still Clinton. It's still us.
Yeah.
And I think one of the cool things about Paint It Back is, I don't know if you've ever been to a gallery. I have a little bit of imposter syndrome where it's like, oh, yes. You know, I'm looking at this thing and there's people walking around me. I'm like, that guy probably has like a master's degree in something,
Yeah,
you know, or
right.
whatever. You know, he probably drives an Aston Martin or whatever. And I'm like, you know, I'm wearing my sock has a hole in it, you know?
Yeah.
And so
Staring at the
yeah.
staring at the banana that's taped to the wall.
Yeah.
Right.
So that I would get a little
Yeah,
more than,
yeah.
but you know, you go down to the riverfront and you're standing before this expanse of color and shape and form. And generally speaking, I mean, there's none of that stuffiness. And I think in a way that is part of the personality of our town. There's not a lot of pretense to our neighbors, to us. And I think just the whole Paint It Back experience absolutely has part of that as a key component. And I think that's a credit to you, Gabby, and I think it's a credit to Chris. And it's really fun hanging out with you
Yay.
guys and
Thank you.
and getting to experience like, wow, this is excellence, but it's sort of our excellence. It's not some sort of unapproachable, stay behind the velvet rope sort of a deal.
Yeah.
I think the approach to it was so brilliant because it's an interactive to the
Oh, yeah.
community.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it really is. It's
Yeah.
interactive, but also, I mean, being from Clinton, I know that people are protective of Clinton, and they're also, this is ours, even if it's not yours sometimes. But they say it's ours. You
Yes.
know, you're exactly right. So it's something great that they want to be protective of and they want to commit to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's awesome.
Before we close out this episode, the dates for the festival
sure,
in
yeah.
2025.
Yeah. Okay. So for Festival 2025, we have some. The dates officially start. We start painting on August 16th. That's when the artists will be here, and we'll start painting. And we will complete the murals this year on August 23rd, where we will have our block party per usual. But this year we're adding a couple more things. So we're going to have more bands this year. And I would say if you are a band and you are interested in playing during the festival on Saturday, you can reach out to Josh Mooseman. Josh, I hope you're okay with that, but he is our booking guy for that. So you can reach out to him. We're also going to have on that Saturday, we're going to have artist booths. So local artists and regional artists will be there to sell their art, which I think is a great opportunity. Just we're always, every year we're saying, we are like, okay, how do we grow? How do we add more art? How do we add more, value to our community members? How do we add more attractions for people to come during that time frame? So we're going to have food trucks, and the kids wall will be back and bigger and better than ever. And we're going to have more stuff for people to do. There might even be like a battle between the artists, which we still need to finalize some of those details, but that'll be super fun. Friday will be our meet and greet. So we're going to have DJ Chad Jensen, and
Okay.
he'll be
DJ Chad Jensen
Yeah.
on the ones and twos.
he'll be out there providing some very awesome 90s vibes, because we really truly are just a garage band. Basically.
And if you've seen Chad's basement,
Yes.
Yeah.
it's just, okay, go ahead.
So we'll have Chad will be DJing, and you'll be able to buy your T-shirts that day, and the guys and artists will be there to sign them, and so that'll be fun. So you can meet them and talk to them. Thursday we just decided, which we're all pretty excited about, we are adding a sponsor night. So at 81, the gallery space, we're going to have a special evening for our sponsors, and there'll be a reception for them, and they can meet the artists in a smaller setting. There will be some items, gallery items available, and images. We're going to print out some images of our walls from the past 2 years. That'll be available as well. There'll be some nom-noms and some beverages, and it should be really fun. So we're very excited for that. And I don't know if I'm missing anything.
I don't know. It's all pretty impressive.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Wow.
lot.
Hey, you looked at me a couple times. I was like,
I don't know.
So we do have more. We really are adding and ramping up, and we're just excited. It's going to be another great year, and we're so grateful for all the support that we get from our organizations like Grow Clinton, from all of our sponsors who have supported us in the past and continue to support us. Thank you, because that really makes this possible. And so without your support, this is still just an idea, but because of you, it is actually happening in our town. So I can't say thank you enough to all of our supporters. And even if you're just a supporter who shows up and you tell your friend or you just say you love it and you maybe take some pictures or whatever, you're still supporting us. And that is so meaningful. It really makes a world of difference. It makes it possible.
That's real, what she just said. Just the idea of someone coming up and absorbing that experience. It's cool to be able to say this, that the mission, the idea of someone coming up and it wasn't transactional in any way.
Yeah.
It's just a human being taking something in and they walk away a little better for it, maybe a lot. That's real.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat to be on a board that's operating sort of on the ground, and there's no hidden agenda or anything like that. It's what you see is what you get, which is really neat. One of the other things I want to mention real quick is I've had a couple of people ask me, like, hey, have you guys ever talked about like saving a wall? Because this wall's my favorite or that wall's my favorite. And I think one of the things that's so special about this is that the answer is no. That this is something, this is the moment that these actually come to life during the festival, and then they're here for a while, but only for a while.
It's like flowers.
Yeah,
It's
like
like
a lot of
Every year
things.
it's different.
Exactly.
Every year it's different, but
Yeah.
it's the same, but it's different and
Yeah.
beautiful, just as beautiful.
Yeah, and so all the more reason to put it on your calendar. To don't wait for next time. Don't wait for some time down the road. What were the dates again?
August 16th. So through the 23rd is the festival. We'll be having events on site the 22nd in the evening, and the 23rd is our block party. But really, probably Chris and I will start priming because we have to paint over prime the whole building. So I would even say, like, if you want pictures, make sure you go see it by the end of July. Because I don't know what's going to happen the week before the August 16th. I probably will start painting over it and getting it ready. So,
And it is something to see what's there now. It is these are artists. There's things happening, under painting. There's stuff happening on an art level that you're not gonna be able to appreciate if you go after the fact. It's like, yeah, that's a cake. Great, I'm gonna eat it. But if you saw it's a particular kind of cake, and it's definitely worth coming while it's being built.
oh yeah. Oh, for sure. I think I definitely encourage, like, come to the party, come to the events, and also just come and, drive by. Everyone is so approachable. You can just sit. We have people who just come and get chairs and they just watch people work, and it's totally fine. And then you are witnessing art in action.
Part of it.
You're participating.
Or if you're an introvert, just don't even get out of your car.
Yeah,
Just go by.
Sit there.
Yeah, and
So
see.
many of those.
There's definitely
A
something
lot of
to
people
see.
do that.
Yeah,
actually,
right.
Yeah.
Well, Gabby, Kip, thank you so much for joining us in the Grow Clinton podcast. Again, those dates, the 16th of August through the 23rd. Something going on every single night. More information, go to paintitback.org. Again, paintitback.org.
Yeah.
And if you want to invest in Paint It Back, you can go to that website as well, click on a link, and you can donate. If you're looking to become a larger investor and have your business represented, reach out to Gabby, reach out to Grow Clinton. We'll get you in touch with her. But I'm so excited for what's to come. Congratulations, both of you. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thanks for having
to
us.
both of you. Thanks for
Sure.
having us.
All right, speaking of thanks, Miles Communications powers the Grow Clinton podcast with high-speed fiber internet. Check them out, milestelephone.com. My name's Andy Sokolovich, and until next time, folks, stay awesome.
Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.
All
I
right.
accidentally talked over a robot, Andy.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you. I'm going to keep that.